Department of Composition at Central Conservatory of Music, majoring in polyphony. I also serve as the president of our graduate student union. I'm truly honored to be here at the 28th CHIME Annual Conference. This is also my first time presenting abroad, which brings me both nervousness and excitement. Before I begin my formal report, I'd like to take a slightly different approach. I will first give you a brief overview of today's talk and share my main conclusion right at the start. I hope this will help you better follow the structure and ideas of my presentation. In the first 15 minutes, I will focus on a special cross-media concert called Music Through the Ages, which I planned and directed. This concert was staged at the 2024 China International Fair for Trade in Services. Through music selection, arrangement, live design, and AI-based communication, the concert not only brought ancient Chinese music to life, but also explored how traditional art can be recreated and shared in a modern and global context. In the last 5 minutes, I will briefly talk about some key projects I've led or joined. These include music cultural tourism research, as well as on the City Wall Jazz Concert, 5 pop-up performances at Jinrongjie exhibition, and a new media opera, Drunk and Gold and Glory, in which I played a leading role. Through this sharing, I hope we can reflect together, as musicians of a new era, how can we stay true to our traditions while finding fresh ways to express Chinese music in today's world? Let me begin with the concert, Music Through the Ages. This was a student lab project from Central Conservatory of Music. It took place in September 2024 during Beijing Fashion Week in Shenzhen 2025 as part of the China International Fair for Trade in Services, or CIFTIS. I was the chief planner and director of this concert, from the early preparation to the live performance and later promotion. I oversaw the whole process. In the next part of my talk, I will walk you through the details of this concert. I hope it will show you how we use different digital tools and artistic media to recreate traditional music in a cross-media form and share it globally with the help of AI. Last August, I received an invitation from the art director. The goal was to design a lecture-style concert that follows the timeline of Chinese history, from the pre-Qing period all the way to the Ming-Qing dynasties. The concert should present musical styles from each era and offer audiences a rich cultural experience. I found this idea fascinating and accepted the task right away. The first step was selecting the pieces. We all agreed that the music must reflect strong historical features and tell a story. It should preserve traditional sound while also allowing space for creative form. To make informed choices, I read music history books and consulted classmates in related majors. After rounds of discussion and comparison, we finalized 6 pieces. Let me briefly introduce them. The first piece is Flowing Water, 流水, a famous Guqin work from the pre-Qing period. We chose it not only because of the well-known story of Gaoshan Liu Shui, but also because this piece was sent into space aboard the Voyager spacecraft in 1977. Moreover, Chinese and French presidents once enjoyed this piece together during a state visit. This year marks the 60th anniversary of China-France relations, giving the piece a new symbolic meaning. The second is Ambush from Ten Sides, 十面埋伏, a powerful people piece from the Qin Han dynasty. It tells the story of the Battle of Gaixia with dramatic musical contrast, offering a sharp change from the calm mood of the Guqin piece before. The third is Zhao Jun Departs the Frontier, also a people work from the Han period. Unlike the last one, this piece is full of sadness and emotion. It reflects the mission of Princess Zhao Jun, who was sent to bring peace between Han and Xiongnu. By choosing this piece, we also express our hope for peace between nations. The fourth piece is The Drunkard, a Guqin work from Weijing period. It shows the spirit and elegance of literature in that time. Unusually, it is written in triple meter, which is quite rare in ancient Chinese music. The fifth is 3 variations on Yangguan Pass, Yangguan Sandie, representing the Tang Song dynasties. These times are known for their poetry, which was often sung with the Guqin. This piece sets the famous Tang poem, 宋元20安息 to music, and is a classical example of song of Guqin. The sixth piece is Peony Pavilion, Silk Road, a well-known aria from Kunqu opera, representing the Ming-Qing dynasties. It shows the cultural importance of opera in that era. At the end of the concert, we also added a special encore piece, Loving and Rose, arranged for 二胡, 扬琴, and 五琴. Although it is a French song, we used Chinese instruments to give it a new sound and flavor, showing the beauty of cultural exchange. To make the concert more attractive, I reinterpreted traditional music in new ways. In the second half of the program, I made bold changes to the last three pieces, aiming to break through the limits of the original formats. Let's start with the fourth and fifth pieces, the drunkard and three variations on Yangguan Pass. Both are 五琴 works. If we had kept the original instrumentation, 五琴 would appear too often throughout the concert. This would not only put pressure on the 五琴 player, but also reduce variety on stage. In ancient Chinese music, 五琴 is indeed the most common solo instrument, followed by the 琵琶. But in our concert, Ambush from Ten Sides and Zhao Jun Departs from the Frontier already featured the 琵琶twice in a row. So for the fourth and fifth pieces, we needed new instrument choices. Luckily, I found that the drunkard had already been adapted by a composer, Liu Xin, for the zhongran. Compared to the 五琴 version, the zhongran version had a fresh and unique sound. Interestingly, the zhongran is named after Ruan Qian, who was the nephew of Ruan Qi, the original composer of the drunkard. They are known together as Big Ruan and Little Ruan, which adds a layer of historical fun. So I confidently chose the zhongran version for the performance. The sixth piece, Pealing Pavilion Self-Road, is a famous aria from Kunqu opera, inviting full opera performers, and the orchestra would be unnecessary and out of place in this concert setting. To better match the tone of the concert, I arranged it as a duet for 笛子 and 扬琴. This way, we preserved the feeling of ancient Chinese theater, but added a lighter touch. At first, I considered pairing this piece with 笛子 and 五琴, but the 笛子 tuning didn't match the 五琴. Also, the 笛子's high pitch made it hard to blend. Then I discovered the low-pitched FK 笛子, which sounds like a xiao. It matched the 五琴 beautifully and created the calm, poetic feeling of a traditional 琴笛 duet. At the end of the concert, we played an encore, Loving and Rose, arranged for 二胡, 扬琴, and 五琴. This Western sound was given a new voice through Chinese instruments. Though there are clear differences between Western and Chinese musical systems, this cross-cultural fusion brought out a special charm. Of course, the process wasn't easy. The players trained in the traditional Chinese music had to get used to jazz rhythms and new techniques. I helped them adapt to this style step by step. This experience gave us useful insight for future works and showed how Chinese instruments can speak in Western music. It also provided new ideas for East-West cultural exchange. Besides music, I added something special to the concert, a traditional Chinese comedy performance called crosstalk or 相声. Since this was not a formal concert hall event, but more like a lecture-style outdoor show, we needed a different kind of performance style. I wanted to create a more relaxed atmosphere to better connect with the audience. To do this, I had to think carefully as both the planner and the director. The concert focused on storytelling and historical meaning, but many visitors had little background in ancient Chinese music. Plus, the outdoor space came with its own challenges, noise, distractions, and a less focused environment. So choosing good music was just half of the work. We also needed an engaging way to link the pieces and explain their meaning. During the summer break, I spoke with a friend who works on theater productions in Japan. She mentioned that their next show would be a story told through many scenes, connected by a medieval-style storytelling. That gave me the idea to add a similar bridge role in our concert, not just a simple host. At first, I considered having an actor play a character, or adding a 京韵大鼓 traditional ballad performance between pieces, but none of these felt quite right. Finally, I realized that 相声 was a perfect fit. It's a traditional art form closely tied to Chinese culture, and its humor and storytelling style match our theme. The cross-style performers use jokes and dialogue to explain the stories behind each ancient piece. This kept the audience entertained and made the music more approachable. I was lucky to connect with members of Peking University's Crosstalk Club. They were amazing, great at writing scripts and performing live. Their performance became one of the highlights of the concert, It was also a fun and meaningful collaboration between our two universities. This concert was more than a performance. It was a cross-media collaboration that gave Chinese traditional culture a fresh look. We broke away from the usual concert format and used the China International Fair for Trading Services as our stage. The concert took place in the Beijing Fashion Week section of the fair, which brought a unique mix of business and art. Because CIFTIS is hosted by China's Ministry of Commerce, the event had a strong international and commercial feel. Many domestic and overseas professionals came to watch. The operation with Beijing Fashion Week also added a strong sense of style. Our performers wore modern Chinese-style costumes, which made the performance more visually appealing. In addition, we combined music with xiangsheng, creating a new style of performance that mixed speech and music. We also used ink painting projections on the stage. The combination of music, visuals, and storytelling gave the audience a fresh and vivid experience of Chinese traditional culture. After the concert, we continued to spread Chinese culture using AI technology. On the top of our cross-media efforts, we used Notebook LM, an AI tool, to produce a 20-minute podcast. It was shared on overseas platforms and received very positive feedback. The podcast not only reviewed the concert, but also explained the ideas behind it through fun and friendly conversations. For example, we can listen to a part of it.
Yeah.
They came back for an encore with Rose Life,
Rose Life.
a French song
What?
arranged for a trio of Chinese instruments.
Talk about unexpected. What do you think they were trying to convey with that choice?
I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
It's like they're saying, hey, Chinese music isn't just about the past. It's also about the present and the future.
Okay.
It's open to influence, to evolution,
Yeah.
to dialogue with other cultures.
Right.
It's a powerful statement about the dynamism of Chinese culture.
It definitely challenges our preconceived notions of what Chinese music is and can be.
Exactly.
And it perfectly sets the stage for the next event we'll discuss.
Oh, yeah?
The new Chinese clothing show.
Right.
Which also seems to be playing with this idea of blending tradition and modernity.
Yes, definitely.
So,
But before we get into that,
okay.
what are your thoughts on the concert as a whole? What message do you think they were trying to send?
Well, it seems to me they're making a powerful statement about the relevance and vitality of Chinese musical heritage. They are not just preserving the past,
Right.
they're actively reimagining it for a modern audience.
Yes.
Showcasing its beauty, complexity, and adaptability.
I agree.
It's like they're saying, hey, world Chinese music is alive and well.
Yeah.
And it has something to offer everyone.
But let's not forget the fashion show.
Right, of course.
That's where things get even more visually stunning.
Can't wait to hear about it.
All right, let's dive into that next.
Okay.
From this audio, it humorously presents the encore piece, Damian Rose, followed by feedback like, they are not just preserving the past, they are actively reimagining it. This shows that a podcast, while based on our concert, goes beyond simple explanation. It adds insightful comments and creative interpretations. According to its developers, this AI has read most music reviews and theory materials from around the world. So its comments are helpful, not only for the audience, but also for us as performers, offering fresh ideas for future innovation. Before creating the podcast, we could even tell the AI what emotions or themes to emphasize. The output was very natural and engaging. It could understand things like irony and metaphor, and the language sounded very human-like. This helped attract attention and hold the audience's interest. In short, the podcast helped us promote the concert and spread Chinese traditional music worldwide. It was both a technical innovation and a media collaboration. By using English to tell Chinese stories, we found a new way to connect with international audiences. Going forward, I'm thinking about how to add more musical elements into the dialogue of future podcasts so listeners can enjoy the music more deeply. I also welcome any suggestions from teachers and classmates on how we can improve this project and continue exploring new directions. Now that I have introduced the concept, I'd also like to share some of my recent work both on and off campus. Whether as a graduate student union president, a music researcher, or a creative director in off-campus projects, I've been focused on finding new ways to share Chinese music in today's world. One area I've paid special attention to is music cultural tourism. This is a growing industry that combines culture and travel and is becoming a powerful driver for regional development and creative innovation. In March this year, I led a 4-person research group and completed a project on this topic. Our paper won an award at 2025 Hong Kong Forum, hosted by the University of Macau, where I presented our findings on behalf of the team. We looked at typical cases in Guangxi, Guizhou, Fujian, and Macau, focusing on how music tourism can work together with AI technology, cross-cultural communication, multimedia formats, and heritage site revitalization. Our study showed how young researchers like us can make meaningful contributions to industry innovation. For example, in the AI Xuanzhi project, we studied how this iconic figure from Guangxi's folk songs can be turned into a virtual guide. With the help of multimodal interaction, the AI version of Liu Sanji offers tourist services like navigation, storytelling, and smart assistance, all while blending music, local landscapes, and cultural content. The character acts like a digital tour guide, giving users a rich and immersive cultural experience. This could help deepen our understanding of Chinese music in the digital age. Besides research, I've also organized 2 real-world music tourism events. In May, I led a jazz concert called Survivors on the City Wall at the Xibian City Wall Roof Park. With jazz music set against the backdrop of ancient architecture, we created a fusion of Eastern and Western styles, attracting a large and diverse audience. Then in June, I planned 5 pop-up performances at the Jinrongjie exhibition. Over 30 students took part. We performed in various formats: Chinese folk, Western classical, solo, ensemble, and vocal. All pieces had a Chinese theme, and the event received strong support from Central Conservatory of Music and Jinrongjie community. I also played a leading role in an original opera called Drum and Gold and Glory, performed in June. This show combined a murder mystery game structure with famous opera arias. Although the music was Western, the performance style designed to attract younger audiences sparked new interest in classical music. It helped people better understand and appreciate opera through storytelling. The show was a success and was selected for this year's Young Shakespeare University Drama Festival. This experience made me wonder, could this type of creative storytelling also inspire new ways to present Chinese music in digital spaces? It's a question worth exploring. To sum up, from Music Through the Ages concert to the various projects I've worked on, my goal has always been the same: to show that Chinese music is not only something to preserve, but also something to reimagine. If the past focused on protecting tradition, then our generation should focus on innovation and creativity. I truly hope to continue exploring more diverse forms of expression for Chinese music in the future, and I warmly welcome your feedback and suggestions. Thank you all for listening.